Are fruits and veggies coated with Apeel safe to eat? Let's find out. You probably heard about it if you're concerned with what's going on your food or how it's grown these days, and who isn't, right? I mean, it's sketchy out there, let's be honest. So I've got three separate websites here. One of them is the apeel.com website itself, and then a nutritionist's site. And then we're going to look on Snopes toward the end of this video. But for starters, let's jump in here. I'll put the link in the description down below for all these websites. So it says it's a plant-based protection that helps the produce you love stay fresh longer. And it says, what is Apeel and how does it work? Let's watch this little video here.
We all love eating healthy fruits and veggies, but sometimes they go bad too fast. That's why we made Apeel. The best way to think of Apeel is that it's an extra
So I'm pronouncing it wrong. Apeel.
peel of protection made by adding another layer of what naturally exists on the fruits and veggies already. But if you want to get all sciencey, these naturally existing molecules are called mono and diglycerides. And by simply adding a microscopic amount to produce, usually after it's been picked, Apeel creates a breathable layer that slows spoilage by keeping moisture in and oxygen out. While these molecules can be found in any fruit or vegetable, we choose to source from the most widely grown plant oils because of their abundance of edible lipids. We also use a purification process, so we only keep what maintains freshness and take out the stuff you don't want, like allergens, impurities, and trans fats. And of course, we use only non-GMO and sustainably sourced plant oils. And now the big question, is Apeel safe to eat? The short answer is yes. The longer answer, absolutely, positively, without a doubt, yes.
Don't you love all the marketing and branding? Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. No, it's all good. It's all just good. It's from plants. It's all from plants. Now, if you have been following along the last, I don't know when all these hydrogenated oils and seed oils came on the scene, which are total and complete bullshit, highly inflammatory, super bad for the body, processed in ways that are basically heinous, right? Using petroleum products to extract that oil from those seeds that they call them vegetable oil, but it's really seed oil, right? Again, highly inflammatory, not good for the body, does all sorts of crazy things. This seems like the same kind of bullshit, package it up and like put a good marketing spin on it and ship it. Let's finish this video.
Yes. The safety has been verified by regulatory authorities around the world. Plus, we continue.
Regulatory authorities verified the safety right there. Big red flag for me. I'm sorry, but anyone who's been paying attention probably has seen, if you're in the nutrition game, and who isn't these days, right? The FDA appears to be totally captured by these corporations, right? And the food manufacturers. They're certainly not looking out for us. A lot of what they do to the food that they give us to potentially buy in the supermarkets, smart people do not buy that shit, is put preservatives in the food to make it last longer on the shelf. When those preservatives go into our body doesn't like that. The gut has trouble breaking down those preservatives. It interferes with the process. It interferes with our ability to extract nutrients from that food. I mean, just use common sense, right? You got to look around, and these agencies are super sketch. Let's continue.
Continuously test our product to confirm that impurities and allergens are nowhere to be found. Okay, so how much Apeel do we use on each piece of produce? An avocado that weighs 200 grams contains 21 grams of lipids, and Apeel only adds a mere 0.06 grams. Adding a tiny amount of what's already there goes a long way in extending the shelf life of our favorite fruits and veggies. So as you're looking for ways to
I get that it's important to extend shelf life. It's not lost on me. We do have to make some compromises in today's world when we're shipping this stuff around. However, the history of these corporations is not great, right? They generally, a lot of them have a long history of putting profits over people, and that's bullshit. And then lo and behold, we find down the line that what they're doing isn't healthy to the food. What they're doing to the food isn't healthy, right? So they're already behind the eight ball, in my opinion.
Ways to add more healthy fruits and vegetables into your diet, know that Apeel is here to help by giving you more time to enjoy the produce you buy. To peel back further and learn more, visit Apeel.com.
All right, let's keep looking here and see what else this website has. So this peel is powerful. Apeel is an extra peel of protection made by applying another layer of what already exists naturally on fruits and vegetables. This extra peel has one job: keep moisture in and oxygen out. I guess that makes sense, so it doesn't oxidize and go bad. Because fresh produce is a living, breathing thing, a peel simply slows down respiration and associated oxidation and water loss for longer freshness. Of course, a peel protected produce still spoils just a bit slower. You know, the bigger overarching question is this: why are we shipping fruit so far that it needs to be protected in this way? See, this is not how we are meant to be living or eating food, right? If we ask these questions, because a person could just say, yeah, we need this because that's how it is. Well, should we really be doing this, or should we be growing fruit locally, eating fruit that's in season? I mean, these are bigger questions that humanity and society is going to have to ask. And, you know, if we want to like be healthy and also have a good planet. So how Apeel works: seeing is believing, without Apeel, with Apeel. So let's do this little dragger. It doesn't really work very well. Okay, so I get it. It makes the fruit last longer. Okay, I do. Produce you love, protected by Apeel. Discover our products available in North America and Europe: avocados, English cucumbers, limes, mandarins, oranges, lemons, grapefruit, mangoes. Okay, so maybe only a few foods so far. See the sustainability impact of Apeel protected produce. Okay, we don't want to look at that. We kind of get the idea. Apeel gives the entire supply chain more time. That's better for your business, your customers, and your planet. Again, back to my point. Should we be shipping this shit all around the world, right? I mean, okay. Now, let's go to another site here that I got queued up on Snopes, because they're saying that people are given wrong information about Apeel. People have been coating their produce with artificial protective coating for over 900 years. I don't doubt that. However, I do question whether they've been using some of the weird stuff that's come around since the petroleum byproducts have come on the scene. And the ability to extract those products from plants. It talks about a viral post claim that people should avoid eating fruits or vegetables with an Apeel. See, I'm always going to say Apeel now because it's stuck in my head, but it's Apeel. What was it? I can't even remember what it was now. It's so in my brain. Apeel. Sticker on them. The post spread across platforms like Facebook, where the claims often appeared as copy-paste text. Okay, they're talking about this thing. They say it's a Bill Gates, and WEF endorses it. So let's see what they say about that. TikTok even used a fact check from the Associated Press as a source for its claims. Apeel Sciences is the company that makes a product used to coat grocery store fruit and vegetables known as Apeel. The website is Apeel stated that the produce has an edible applied to it, stays at peak freshness for longer. More time can help you waste less when you buy. Okay, I get it. Let's see. It's a thin coating designed to be consumed. Again, you got to ask yourself, these companies, they're doing it for their best interest. And of course, they're going to say, oh yeah, this shit is all safe. Go for it. You know, eat away. I'm not buying it. I'm sorry. I'm not buying it. Let's see. Apeel consists of purified monoglycerides and diglycerides. Monoglycerides consist of a glycerol molecule and one fatty acid chain, while diglycerides have two fatty acid chains. According to a 2018 health article, the two contain small amounts of trans fats. but a Food and Drug Administration ban does not apply to them. So if there is trans fats in there, we know that's a fake fat. That's a fat that is made to be more stable and long lasting. Again, total and complete bullshit. There's your Twinkies. There's your pastry goods on the shelves. A trans fat, the body does not know what to do with that. It cannot break it down properly. It's an unknown thing coming into the body. And when the body gets unknown things, it can put it into fat stores or just not deal with it at all. And that, but my understanding is it just goes into fat storage. So the agency banned artificial trans fats in 2018. Okay, so the FDA banned them after researchers discovered such fats raised cholesterol and contributed to heart disease. So it would have been real nice if they would have figured that out before they allowed them in the food for decades. See, that's what I call total and complete bullshit. I think they knew all along, and then it's like when they found out, they're like, we just found out. You guys suck, man. You suck. Let's see. A Washington Post article reported natural trans fats found in some animal. To my knowledge, there are no, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Trans fats. I'm thinking of hydrogenated fats. That's the fake fat. Trans fats. Okay, I think I might have misspoke. So I got to correct myself. Hydrogenated fats, hydrogenated oils, those are the fake oils, or the oils that have been hydrogen has been introduced in there to make it more stable, so that you can put them on the shelf longer. Okay, I misspoke. Trans fats found in some animal proteins have not been banned. There is no evidence they raise cholesterol or contribute to heart disease. The dietary lipids which compose the ingredients in Apeel so it's Apeel, not Apeel. That just dawned on me as I recall, are not a source of trans fatty acids. Further, Apeel products have been analytically tested to confirm the absence of trans fats, said a blog post the company published in 2023. We've previously fact-checked claims that have connected Bill Gates and the WEF to various conspiracy theories surrounding safe food and water. And you know what? Yeah, I wonder why. According to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Apeel was funded by the foundation in 2012 and 2015. The website did not state the company had been funded by the foundation since then. Wrong answer for me. If they have any of their little hands in it, I don't want it. I'm super sketched out by those people. So already that's a no-brainer for me. I don't care what whitewashing it goes through. I'm not going to touch it. At the time of this writing, Crunchbase listed the foundation as the lead investor in Apeel, along with Temasek Holdings, Singapore Sovereign Wealth Fund, Viking Global Investors. Apeel was named as a WEF technology partner. So that's what the WEF is touched with it. Again, those people are sketch. I don't even want anything that they have to do with it. So, all right, let's last but not least go to this other article here, which is she looks like, let's find out who this is first. It's a nutrition. So it's Nutrition with Judy, board certified holistic nutritionist. That's clout. Author of Carnivore Cure, functional nutritional therapy practitioner. Okay. So, and again, you got to do your own vetting of her, but I just wanted to check that out. So now I want to go back to the article here. Meet Apeel, the new additive poisoning our produce. So she's pulling no punches. Meet Apeel, the new additive poisoning our produce. Apeel is a new plant-based protection that was developed in order to help keep produce stay fresh longer. Okay, look, a little typo there. It achieves this by coating the outside of all fruits and vegetables with proprietary chemicals that slow down water loss and oxidation. Apeel is marketed as a thin, plant-based edible peel that coats fresh produce, acting similarly to the plant's cuticle layer. Okay. The post-harvest coating may sound like a wonderful invention at first glance, with the mission to help minimize food and plastic waste in plant food production. But once you look into the ingredients, discover the fact that it can't be washed off and also has many other concerns you may want to reconsider. Let's take a close look at the new Apeel technology that that's already been approved for use in several countries, including the United States. What is Apeel? Okay, a sprayable coating from plant-derived materials made from purified mono and diglycerides used on organic produce, cannot be washed off. That's sketch. That's one reason why I stopped eating the wax-coated apples. I don't why? There's no reason. That just gives your body another something, another foreign toxin, potential toxin to get rid of. Stops produce from losing moisture, provides spoilage protection to produce. Apeel is a sprayable coating from plant-derived materials that have been approved for fresh fruits and vegetables in the United States, Canada, Chile, China, etc. There's the list. Quite a few countries. Apeel Sciences is the parent company name, but has multiple product names registered for edible food coatings. The Apeel product line currently offers two product types. The first is called Invisapeel, which can be applied directly to crops in a field by farmers. That's wild. The second product type requires farmers to wait until the crops are ready before harvesting and applying. This second category has two approved products, Apeel for non-organic produce and Organapeel for organic produce. Oh my gosh. Here again, you think it's organic and doesn't have any garbage on it. It may have this stuff on it. It has also been approved for use for only certain types of fruits in various European countries. The main purpose of this product is to create a thin protective peel in order for fresh produce to maintain its moisture and protect itself from spoilage. Apeel is designed to keep produce fresh for at least twice the amount of time. Who is funding Apeel? Okay, so here we get into it. Who's funding Apeel? Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the World Economic Forum, the Rockefeller Foundation, infectious disease startups, the government of Singapore. Other than the government of Singapore and whatever this infectious disease startups, those other three are sketch. No, thank you. Apeel has received a total of $719 million in funding from 33 investors. Some of the most notable investors of Appeel's Apeel technology include, like we just talked about. So why are some of the world's arguably notoriously corrupt organization funding this? What do they have to gain with the unrestricted use of adding Apeel to all fresh vegetables and fruits in several countries? Before we put our conspiracy hats on, let's discuss what this plant-derived food really is. What are the ingredients? What's Apeel made of? Monoglycerides and diglycerides and other proprietary chemicals. So food additive, mono and diglycerides. I'm going to have to zoom in on this if I can. No, it's not going to let me. Let me see if I can read it. Byproducts of fat and are processing classified as emulsifiers and contain trans fats. Okay, trans fat labeling doesn't apply to food additives. Okay, so they probably don't have to tell us that it's a trans fat. Per its website, Apeel is composed entirely of purified monoglycerides and diglycerides, while the company is marketing these ingredients as plant-based molecules that naturally occur in peels, seeds, and plant pulp. The ingredients can be quite problematic for a few reasons. Remember, they said, oh, these are natural in plants, so it's nothing out of the ordinary, right? That's on the Apeel website. How are monoglycerides and diglycerides made? How plant-based oil is made. So you take the seed, you clean it, you grind it, you press it, you solvent extraction it. That's where your hexane comes in. That's the bullshit. Oil and alkali, centrifuge, oil and H2O, centrifuge. Dude, look at this process. Sketch. This is really small for me to read, but I'm going to try it here. Deodorizing and bleaching. That's not good. Refined. Coating oil. New product. Ta-da! And this is another reason why all these greenies that are like, yeah, you need to lock down in 15-minute cities. Can you imagine the energy used to create this shit? Off the freaking charts. Same with electric cars, and I'll be diving into that down the road too. Monoglycerides and diglycerides are naturally present in certain seed oils, such as grapeseed and cottonseed. However, concentrations are low and difficult to isolate. That's why these compounds must be manufactured through a chemical reaction that starts with a triglyceride containing animal fat or vegetable oil. The most commonly used vegetable oils are hydrogenated soybean or palm oils, which are also super sketch. You know, since Appeal's formula is plant derived, its mono and diglycerides are manufactured from vegetable oil. High heat and an alkaline catalyst, glycerol, are utilized for the chemical reaction, rearranging the triglycerides into mono and diglycerides. Look at all this bullshit they go through. They always say this is natural, but this process is nothing natural about it. This results in a mixture of all three mono, di, and triglycerides. The next step is saponification and distillation in order to further isolate the mono and diglycerides, removing the triglycerides' water content and other impurities. The end result of pure mono and diglycerides are food additives generally used as emulsifiers, ingredients that help blend water and oil together. They can be found in most processed foods and serve the purpose of improving the user's eating experience, e.g., reducing the stickiness in candy, giving ice cream a creamier consistency, and preventing peanut butter's oil from separating. So, again, making food do things it's not supposed to be doing. A 2017 study reported that 70% of emulsifiers in U.S. food products are, in fact, mono and diglycerides. These are also frequently used to extend the shelf life of processed foods. The dangers of monoglycerides and diglycerides. Mono and diglycerides are heavily processed. Yes, they are, as we have seen, chemically laced seed oil byproducts that contain trans fats. Trans fats are known to promote inflammation throughout the body and have been linked to cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and obesity. Studies also show that trans fats can have an adverse impact on the brain and nervous system. Yikes. Diminish mental health performance, distort cell membranes, lead to infertility in women, and compromise fetal development. All those things are super sketch. In 2016, the FDA began requiring manufacturers to list trans fats on food labels. However, this law applies to lipids and not emulsifiers such as mono and diglycerides. See, there's always a way around it. These guys aren't dumb. They're brilliant. These guys are brilliant, and you got to stay a step ahead of them. In 2018, the FDA banned the addition of trans fats to foods, but since mono and diglycerides are classified as emulsifiers, the ban doesn't apply to these additives. They can actually be used in any food without any limitations. Of course they can. So how can the FDA state that mono and diglycerides are generally safe even though they contain trans fats? The reasoning provided by the FDA is that the small amounts of trans fats found in these emulsifiers aren't harmful. I love how the FDA is so unequivocally, tested and approved, safe and effective. That's all we got to say about that. I don't trust those mofos. However, many people aren't just consuming a small amount. One study found that the presence of small amounts of trans fats in hydrogenated or partially hydrogenated oils, food products likely causes many Americans to exceed their recommended maximum, with no trans fat labeling needed for emulsifiers such as mono and diglycerides. There's no way of knowing how much trans fat is in products that contain them. Another issue with consuming mono and diglycerides is that they convert back to triglycerides in the bloodstream. High triglycerides are linked to the hardening of arteries. That sucks. That sucks a lot. The increased risk of cardiovascular disease and pancreatitis, monoglycerides. These long names, wild, have been deemed by the European Food Safety Authority as toxic elements. Remember, in Europe, they're not allowed to sell people or put it in the grocery store a lot of the same foods and packaged foods we sell in America. If that doesn't tell you something, I don't know what does. That may have substantial consequences from consumption. Another EFSA review warned that monoglycerides may contain glycidol, which is a carcinogen. That's awesome. Why we should avoid Apeel and Apeel. Appeals and Apeel. So let's see why. Approved for all fruits and vegetables, including organic. See, that's what sketches me out. I don't want it on my organic vegetables. Mono and diglycerides enter the bloodstream and are converted to harmful triglycerides, made from proprietary chemicals that do not wash off. So maybe you can't even get it washed off with a vegetable wash or a vinegar soak. I mean, if you can't get it off at that, I don't want it at all. No trans fat labeled required. So, and it's also designated generally regarded as safe by FDA despite containing trans fats. If the health implication of trans fats containing mono and diglycerides aren't compelling enough, there are other issues to consider as well. Permanent unwashable compounds. So we already talked about that. I'm not going to read all the details there. The second bullet point here is approved for all fruits and vegetables, including organic. Now that's sketch, and they probably don't have to tell you that it's on there. FDA's classification on Apeel being generally recognized as safe. So that's, talks about the exemption originally induced in 1958 to allow certain substances on considered safe for consumption without undergoing any further approval. Until 1997, the FDA was in charge of reviewing, confirming, or rejecting a company's request. So it's just she's talking about the history of the FDA. Again, I don't trust them. This last bullet point, carcinogenic and toxic compounds from manufacturing process. In Apeel's Gross submission, the company disclosed some of its industrial manufacturing process for their edible coating products in order to manufacture the mono and diglycerides, which are the main ingredients of all Apeel. There is a toxic residue from ethyl acetate, heptane, palladium, arsenic, lead, mercury, which are used in the extraction process of grapeseed leaves. These toxic compounds and solvents have been linked to a host of variety. I think that's the article. No, there's one more here. So that's the caution thing. Lack of transparency and safety concerns. That is, wash thoroughly with soap and water before eating. That is sketchy. She's got some stuff backed up here. This lady's no joke. Mystery ingredient disclosed. The Organic Materials Review Institute, OMRI, approved Organapeel for use on USDA organic produce, presumably based on citric acid being the active ingredient. Citric acid, which 99% of it's derived from the black mold strain, is a non-organic ingredient that's allowed in organic foods as long as it's not synthetic. However, citric acid only accounts for 0.66 of organic peel's ingredients. What about the other 99.34? Yeah, what up? That's a lot. Without full transparency, we can only assume that all Apeel products probably contain some of the health problems that similar preservatives cause that are commonly used in ultra-processed foods. Another concern is that Organapeel is actually listed as a fungicide on the OMRI certificate. Apeel, another concern for foods from the plant kingdom. Truth about plants. Okay, I'm not going to read that because it's super tiny, but you can check it out. As we know, plant foods can already be problematic for a number of reasons. Here's a quick summary of the potential issues. So why is it saying truth about the plant kingdom? Okay. Anti-nutrients. Plant anti-nutrients found throughout the plant food, such as lectins, oxalates, and folic acid, I've heard of those things, have been linked to serious health implications ranging from autoimmunity and poor mineral absorption. Mycotoxins and aflatoxins, I haven't heard of the aflatoxins, are particles and highly inflammatory and even carcinogenic and are found commonly in nuts, grains, glyphosate, herbicides, pesticides. That's what we have to worry about too, right? Bioavailability. Plant foods aren't as bioavailable as meat in terms of nutrients, protein, and amino acids. Eating plant-based will also lead to nutritional deficiencies without proper supplementation. Fructose and carbohydrates, excess sugar. Okay, talking about that. So, closing thoughts. With no transparency or third-party evaluation of the product safety information, no long-term safety studies, questionable ingredients linked to adverse health effects, and the fact that Apeel can be used with no restriction on all produce for sale to the public. It's just another reason to be informed on how many fruits and vegetables we're allowing into our diet. Unless you're growing your own produce or have a relationship with a local produce farmer, limiting fruits and vegetables and focusing on nutrient-dense animal products is best. Now that even organic produce has been compromised, that's what sketches me out. Son of a gun. Work with our leading functional nutritional therapy practitioners. So she's selling the thing there. There you go. I mean, we got to know what's in our food because it's super important. That's a little bit about Apeel. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. And if you have any other information, please share it. And thanks for watching. Until next time, I wish you all the best health, wealth, and success. Don't forget, leave me a thumbs up if you like this video and subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, not only here on my YouTube channel, but on social media at gmarkphillips. Okay, bye-bye. Have an awesome day.